Okay.
Use Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, now
I
you
start.
can continue.
So I was telling you about NLP. Guys, can you please mute yourself, Ritik Kumar?
Kumar, could you please?
Yeah,
You
thank
can
you so
continue.
much. Yeah. So I was telling you about, first of all, about NLP. So NLP is a short form of natural language processing, which is a subfield of computer science and artificial intelligence. What is NLP? As by the name we can understand that natural language processing, like what is a natural language? Like English, we say whatever we are giving information to the machine, to our machine learning model machine will analyze it, will process on it, and will give us output. Okay, so it creates a connection between computer and human language, and it is used to we can say the common use cases that we can see in NLP are like, if let's suppose if I'm working in Amazon or any Flipkart, any company where I want to analyze the reviews of my customers. Okay, NLP is used in analyzing the reviews. Let's suppose now I'm going to tell you about a project which is Amazon reviews project. So we are analyzing the reviews that we are, let's suppose if I'm purchasing any product on Amazon, and then after it we got a form, no, like fill this feedback form. So what feedback we are giving to the company, what company is actually doing with it, they're analyzing it, their model is analyzing it, and based on that the administrators are taking the decision, like what they have to do, what all changes they have to do. Okay, any doubt? Am I fine? Like if you guys feel like I'm going very fast, you can tell me.
Priya, can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
And if any people are bringing admit, just click admit. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Like people are saying, yeah.
Is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we are going to do the project on Amazon reviews. So here is the image. If you guys are a beginner in NLP or ML, let me tell you how we can upload the image in this Jupyter notebook. This is Jupyter. Okay, this is my Jupyter notebook. And let's suppose if I want to, let me show you the code. First of all, we have to create, this is cell. Okay, this is a cell. If I want to paste an image here, so what we have to do, first of all, we have to make the cell as markdown. Usually the cell is now code where we are coding. Okay. But if we want to put an image, so we have to make it markdown. And then we just have to copy and paste our image URL this. And then to run this, we have to run Control Enter, or you can also run Shift Enter. So like we can upload the image in our Jupyter notebook. Okay. Then let me tell you about the data. What data is about, number of rows, and what are the columns. Let me brief you about it. So there, this is the project name, Amazon Find Food Reviews Analysis. We are going to analyze the reviews, and we have this number of reviews, 5,68,000. Number of users, the data that we have, it contains 2,56,000. Number of products, then this is time span. Okay, in all over total we have 10 columns. These are the column names: ID, user ID, profile name, helpful numerator, denominator. Let me show you. When we start our project, we have to install the libraries. We have to import the libraries. Okay, don't worry about all these libraries. When we are going to use, I am going to tell you about each and every library. These are the basic libraries: pandas and numpy. Pandas is for data manipulation. NumPy is basically it's numerical Python. Okay. This is for plots for graphs, matplotlibs. Then Seaborn, this is also for graph, TensorFlow. These all, don't worry, we are going to use, and then meanwhile I'll be explaining you. So now, first of all, I'm loading my CSV file. Okay. See, we know that we have to do this project. So we would be required some Excel file or some data on which we are going to do the work. So to load the file, we use this pandas. This is pandas. We have imported it as a PD. I have written there, import pandas as PD. So this is panda. This is a function, read CSV function. Okay. Using this function, we are, see, this is my CSV file, name of the file. And one more thing, guys, whenever we load the file, CSV or any Excel file in the system, that file should be kept in the same folder. See, this is, let me show you how. This is my Jupyter notebook. If I show you the address, so in this is my file name, and in the same folder, I have to keep the CSV file also. If it is not there, then we have to pass the path. That's why I'm keeping it in the same column. Okay, let me run it once again. Okay. The star means it's running. It's in the running state. Okay, now it's done. DF is my data frame name. Okay. This is PD pandas.read CSV. This is the function which is going to read this particular file. Please make sure about the spellings. Whenever we load the file, the spelling, this name should be the same as per the file name. Okay. Now this info function will give us the information about the data frame. Okay, this is info function. So this is my data frame. This is the output. So we have 5,68,000 entries. Okay, these are the 10 columns. Name of the column, ID, product ID, username, profile name. These are non-null values. See, null means blank values. Non-null means some values are there. This is not blank. Okay. This D type is the data type of the column. Int means this is integer kind of data. Guys, I believe you would be knowing about data types. So data types means the type of the column. Let's suppose if I'm giving here these 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the integer values. Okay. If I say, if I'm giving this values 2.2, 3.4 or 5.5, 6. These are my float values. These are my float data type. Okay. Now next is my object. Object means any character. Let's suppose if I'm giving this. So this is my object data type. These are the basic data types. Okay. Date and time and many more are there. We will be discussing about it. So here we can see that main thing is this time. See, this time is also given in the integer data type. As we know, time, we can't process the time column if it's there in integer. We will be processing it later. Okay. So now we have loaded the data. We have seen the data types, the blank values and everything. Now, second is, let's have a look of the data. Let's have a feel of the data, like what all values are there, how it's looking. So we can also do head function. Head function will say, let's suppose if I say df.head, this will give me the top 5 records. Okay. Head will give top 5 records. Whereas df.tail, if I'm doing, tail function will give tail, means last 5 records. And if I want to see more number of records here, we can put n is equals to 10. Let's suppose if I say 10. So this is going to give me top 10 records. You can see the indexing from here. This is 0, 1, 2, this way. It would be going up to 9. In Python, the indexing starts from 0. Okay. But I don't prefer head function. I usually prefer sample function over there. Sample will give the random data. Okay. Like head is giving me just the top 5 or top, you can say top number of rows. I prefer sample because this will give me random number of data. As I have mentioned 2, that means 2 rows are given to me as an output. We can also change it. Let's suppose if I give 5, so it's going to give me 5 rows. Okay, any doubt till here?
Guys, you're free to ask any kind of doubts, okay? Because this is gonna change. This is gonna be a best project actually.
If you have any doubt, you can drop me in the chat box. I'm waiting. Shall I continue?
Yeah. Hello, Priya.
Yes.
There are some people who are sending the requests actually. I mean, they're trying to join it since. Just check once.
Okay, let me see.
Click on admit.
Okay. So now next we are going to check for the null values. What is null value? Null value means the blank values. Let's suppose if I see this data. Null function will check, go to each and each row by column wise. Let's suppose from here my system, this will go. Row wise it will scan and it will check for each particular column. So null values, if I run this function, df is my data frame name, dot, we use dot symbol to go for next, you can say line of codes. So is null function, this function will return the null values. And what I want to do, I want to do the sum of this. Let's suppose if I remove this and I run it, what will happen? It's giving me the complete data frame and it's telling me where the value is null. It will give me true, and otherwise it's going to give me false. So here false and false, but I'm not able to understand it. You can see I have this much number of rows. So here is the dot dot dot. That means number of rows are there, and I'm not able to see what all true are there, what all false values are there. That's why I'm using some function which will add. See, this false means 0 1. Okay, so some function what will do, what all true are there means wherever null values are there, it will give me that adder. So some now what we am getting in id function, no null value. Here I can see in profile name I have 16 null values, and in summary I have 27 null values. Okay, so somebody has asked me like why you have sent. Okay, so there is not hard and fast rule that I have used sample and we can use head. It's the same thing. I prefer sample function because it gives me the random data. Like let's suppose if there is any null value or if there is some different value, so I'm able to analyze it. There is no issue. You can use head function also, even tail function also. There is no issue in it. Okay. So here we can see in my out of 10 columns, in my 2 columns, I have null values. See, here the number of null values are very less, and in order to treat them, it's not mandatory. There are not, you can say, hard and fast rule that we have to drop them or we have to replace them. We can see as per the data requirement. Okay, but these are very less number of values. Even we can drop them also, because we have data in lakhs and the number of missing values are just 16 and 27. Okay. Now I'm going to check for the duplicated record. What's the difference? But what's the difference here is duplicated means, let's suppose if I have 2 rows. So this is my rows records. This is my one record. This is my second record. Duplicate means if all these entries in both of the records are same. This is my duplicate row, duplicate record. Why I'm going to why I'm checking for it is, see, if multiple duplicated records are there, what my model will learn? My model will learn the same things again and again. So when the model will get the unseen data, my model won't perform there, no? That's why we are checking for duplicate records. This is the function. Same why I'm doing sum here. Let's suppose if I remove it and let me check for it. See, This is giving me now row wise data. Means in zero number of row, no false, false. I'm not able to analyze it. That's why I'm using sum function so that it will give me the number of duplicated records. So here I can see 0. Okay, means I don't have any duplicated record. But what I have seen here is I have duplicated entries, not in complete record, but in some column. Let me show you. What is this? So I have a customer profile name with Geeta Krishnan. Okay. I'm going to explain this code. Don't worry about it. Let me show you the output first so that you will be able to map it. So you can see here, Geeta Krishnan is the profile name. You can see the user ID of this customer. It would be same, obviously. Okay. Now you can see the helpful numerator, helpful denominator, score, time, summary, and text. All these entries are same. Just see, ID and product IDs are different. A same customer at same time. See, the time is also same. Can you see? Time is same, summary is same, text is same. All these things are same, but ID and product ID is different. A same customer at the same time, he can't post for five records for 5 products. That means some we can say misinformation is given to us. We have to analyze it, and how we are doing it, let me show you. So this is the operator. In Python, operators are used, logical operators are used, like and, or this is the sign of and. Let me tell you something about it. This is and function. Okay. This pipe function is or. Or how or works, let me show you. Let's suppose if a condition is true. Let me give you an example. So 3 is greater than 1. This is going to give me true. This is the Boolean output, true or false. Okay. Same like way, if I see 5 is greater than 2, this is also true. And I want to see 2 conditions together. Then in that way, let's suppose I want to use AND function here. The output is going to be true. Let's suppose if I change it. So the AND function says that if both of the conditions are true, then only it's going to give me the true result. Otherwise, if either one of is false, then the answer would be false. In OR function, if any of the condition is true, then my output will be true. Let me show you. See, this is true now. But in case of AND means if both the conditions are true, then only I'll be getting the true or false. Did you get this? Any doubts? Okay, so I'm moving further. So this is the AND operator. Firstly, I'm checking for this. DF score is not equal to 3. Because I can see that this score is greater than 5. I'm putting one condition here that my DF, this score function, this score column is not equal to 3. Okay. And my second condition is my DF, this user ID is equal to this user ID. If these both conditions are true, means score is also not equal to 3 and user ID is this, then give me the number of, show me the records. Let me show you the square option. Wait 1 second. If I remove this, what I'm getting all true and false. But the same way, I can't analyze this data now. So for that, what I'm using, I'm putting it in the square brackets, and then I'm mentioning my DF name, data frame name. So now it's going to give me the records. So here I'm having 5 records. Okay. In which just ID and product ID were different. Otherwise, all the details are same. So I'm going to drop this. for dropping it, what I'm doing, what I'm saying to the machine is df my data frame dot drop duplicates, means drop the duplicates. Which duplicates? In the function I'm mentioning subset, means number of columns or number of which column I want to remove. For that I'm putting a list here. This is the list. You would be knowing about it. Let me tell you. List starts with these square brackets. Okay, here it may be any character, any numeric, any float, anything can be done. So this is the list. I am putting the number of columns here. User ID means, see here in the same, the observation that we have seen, user ID was same, profile name was same, score, time, summary, all these details were same. So I want to remove all these duplicates. After running this, I'm putting it in a different data frame. Now the data frame name is df final. Okay, it's done now. And if we see for df information, this is my data frame, new data frame, final data frame, in which I don't have any duplicates now. Okay, I have just my
Hello?
unique rows. Yes.
We are sorry to interrupt the session. There is a meeting time out. I'm sending you the other link. If it's possible for people, tell them to join that link. Okay, because there is an out of time, like 5 minutes. I think the meeting will end. So tell them to
Okay.
join in this new meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, the link is there in the chat box. Can you please join this meeting?
Make sure to record this. I mean, when you out of this session, it will be recorded. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please join the link which is given in the chat box.